Hello everybody, it's Silvana and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a little bit different of a video today. It's still NaNoWriMo and I am still going to be doing that. And the end of this video will include an update to the website of how many words we've gotten for the day, but it's a little before 11 in the morning. And I have just gotten up and gotten awake a little bit. I'm not fully awake, so I'm not quite ready to start writing yet. So I thought, real quick, we'd do a brief little of where I am, like literally where I am, with the story right now. Alright, so to backtrack a little, when I got done with the edit of Ghost at the end of August, it was actually like the 2nd or 3rd of September. I went directly from that into writing Project Night. I wrote that for about 2 weeks. I say about because it might have been 13 days, it could have been 17 days, but it was, around 14. I know it wasn't long enough to be closer to 3 weeks. I know it wasn't short enough to be closer to a week, so that's why I say 2 weeks. In that time, I wrote and finished, and we've talked about how I mark it, but if you're new, this is Scrivener. It's what I use to rough draft. On Scrivener, they have a thing where if you right-click it, you can put a label for if it's an idea, a note, a character note, a chapter, or a scene. Well, I use that, to mark when I'm done with the chapter completely. So I had written to the point of where I had chapter 1, 2, and 3 done. Chapter 4 started, and a little bit into and I've told you guys before, and if not, again, if you're new here, I do write, not only am I writing this set of books out of order, but I write the books themselves out of order if certain things come to me. So I wrote a little bit in this chapter because what happens there came very, the moment of discovery of what is to be discovered came to me very, very clearly in a very good, nice scene. So I wrote that. And again, in these 2 chapters as well, the stuff came to me very clearly, so I wrote those out of order. So all told, I had 15,000 words written. Sorry about that. I then stopped writing mid-September, and I didn't touch it again until October, until about somewhere in here, somewhere between the 21st and the 24th of October. So I took a solid month or more off before I came back and touched anything with the story. At that point, I was feeling that I knew the story, but I was kind of bogged up of how to exactly tell it. So, and I should have opened that file first before starting videoing, but I'll open that while we talk. I found, I was looking online at other author tubers for inspiration, and I found an outlining technique from Katie Tastic, I will try to remember to link that video in a card and in the description down below. I will be making a video once Nano is done, going in a little bit to more detail of how I use it, but it breaks it up into 3 acts, 27 parts, and I started filling that in for nights. As I filled in the squares of what I knew I wanted or needed to happen in the novel, the first thing I noticed was that a good proportion of the novel, except for in like the first act, was done. I needed like 1 or 2 in the second chapter, second act, and none in the third act. So that made me feel pretty solid that just off the top of my head with what I knew, I was already way over 3/4 of the way done with the outline. And it didn't take much thinking while looking at what those squares represent to figure out what should go in them. Excuse me, I am stuffy and I'm sorry about that. So the first thing I did was that outline. And then I let that sit for a couple days. And then I went back into here and I edited. And I think I talked about that situation a little bit on my update right before, near the end of October, for my Preptober video, because that was part of my prep, is the outline and the edit of this. So what that ended up making happening, it changed how things were going to flow. Chapter 3 ended up half of it getting deleted, the other half getting moved to chapter 2. Some edit had to happen for that to flow as a chapter, but it worked. And that should have all been together in the first place. It made chapter 1 almost complete, except for it needed a paragraph. Chapter 3 was completely empty. So, since the start of NaNoWriMo on the 1st, obviously we finished chapter 1. That was the first thing we did. We were only missing a paragraph. So we finished that and called it done. And then we started chapter 2, or not chapter 2, chapter 2 was done. We started chapter 3, got about halfway through chapter 3 before I ran out of energy and words on day 1. And so finished it up yesterday on day 2. So that puts us back at 3 chapters done. The difference with that is, like you saw last night when we updated the word count, that puts us at 17,990 instead of the 15K we had been at this point in October, which is why I wanted to bring it up, is because that word difference. We picked up some words in this exchange. How? I'm not sure. I have a feeling this book is going to be significantly longer than Ghost. That's yet to be completely determined. Some of these other, chapters may not end up being as long as these 3 happen to be, because again, there is a lot of characters, so a lot of introduction has to happen. So my plan for today is, with the edit of what's happening where, chapter 4 is partially done. I need to go in and add something at the end of what's currently in there, to quote unquote in the chapter, and then actually go up to above what's in there and add the come into that scene to finish that chapter of how we get from where the end of 2 is to where the begin, or where the end of 3 is to where the beginning of 4 is. We need some connector, and so that is my plan of writing today. The first thing I'll write is the cap off of the end of the chapter. That's because it's not a lot of words, and I'm already, there. Um, I can take my note out and put actual words there, and then I can jump up to the beginning of that chapter and do the bring in from 3 to 4 and be done and ready to go to 5. It won't be until I'm done with 4 before I see what I need for 5, where that's at, and where I need to go from there forward. Things may yet need to change with 5. I think 4 and 5 may cover some of the same time, where thus far 1, 2, 3 has been, it's not a lot of time, but it's been linear. This day, this day, this day, this day, and they've been in a row. I think 4 and 5 may overlap a little bit of time, just from different characters' perspective, is what I'm thinking right now. Again, we will see. So until we see you in a little bit with words, that's it for now. And I'm back. 1,000 distractions and many hours later. It is now 9 o'clock at night, and the writing for the day is finally done. As you can see, we have a total can't talk though, a total word count of 20,414. So we have 20,414. We started with 13K. So total words, 7414. All right, so let's go over to Nan. And we're gonna update to 7414. And there we go. Until tomorrow, talk to you later. Like, comment, subscribe, and do all the do's below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.